everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Leading them out, their 6-year quarterback. Hailing from Fresno State, that's Derek Carr.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Squish, double. Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Carr now on first down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw his Carr. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's the 3rd-round pick from Memphis. It's Darrell Henderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Denora Searcy in on the stop. First offensive series forthcoming. Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver that certainly needs no introduction in this league.
He's truly one of those don't blink guys, because as soon as you do, he's past you and in the end zone and doesn't mind letting you know about it too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz forced out to his left. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
Check. Lucky. 64. Weak.
This is Quadri Allison, the rookie from Pitt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Kenny Vaccaro. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, They are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention, but sometimes the number just needs to...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack on first down, Carr, and he's going to go down again. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The numbers for Jackson in last week's game: 6 catches, 101 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wentz steps away. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
First down, Jacksonville.
57.
Oh, you got deep?
Man left, man left. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop it for a loss of 4. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now this time, Wentz will throw. Steps away, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Carr completes it. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now Carr. He completes it to Jones. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Grady Jarrett coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Pass interference. Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He'll get this to Devlin, his fullback. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. And now Derek Carr. He is the focus of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to... It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here, they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Mariota, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it and often in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. He got 29 yards that time.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up...
And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
It's a pickup of 3.
Now it's the backup Mariota. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Mariota to throw it. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, and that quick change...
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Quadri Olison, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check three.
Mariota. He's got Burton here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This time they stay on the ground. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to
Upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On the move to his left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Flushed out right. Hard throw, incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
A couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 39. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made by Marcus Golden. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz eluding the pressure right. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's go. Hey, watch it, watch it. Undercross.
Henderson will try to run for the 1st. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Darrell Henderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. This one into the hands of Burton. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. "51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, he's got Jack Doyle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. Kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
A good pickup there at 22.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. They'll find Henderson there. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Left side, Doyle with it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Wentz now on third and goal. They'll roll him out right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jack Doyle, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. No surprise there, third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping it on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Throwing now is Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Carr to throw for it on fourth down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it second and short. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Carr going to throw. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, will step aside. The offense on third down tonight, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. To throw his car. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. I call it no gain there on the first down play. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? In the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Now Carr. Underneath to the tight end, Burton. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now the Bengals on third down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Carr. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Carr. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They run it with Jacobs. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
This is caught by Jackson. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 35-yard line.
Three down.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Jackson on the keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Jaguars, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home